What's going on, everybody? I'm going to be reviewing the Kell Brook versus Porter fight from last night, and I'm also going to be giving my after-fight thoughts and what's next for Kell Brook and his future at welterweight. So, I was completely wrong about my prediction about Kell Brook versus Shawn Porter. I actually thought Shawn Porter was going to knock out Kell Brook, and I thought he was going to do it around the 6th or 7th round. But Kell Brook, for me, he was a very he was able to negate Shawn Porter's inside work. And the thing about Kell Brook is physically he's a physical specimen. He's very well built, and he was able to use his strength, and he was able to negate Shawn Porter's inside work. So whenever Shawn Porter got on the inside, he was able to tie Shawn Porter up, and he was able to stop Shawn Porter from getting off with his shots on the inside. And he did this very effectively. So he was able to push Shawn Porter back, and he was just able to stop him from doing anything up close. And a lot of Shawn Porter's shots were cuffing shots, and they were catching Kell Brook every now and again. But Kell Brook's own punches were more cleaner and crisper, and so for me, he actually won that fight by a couple of rounds. Even though I thought it was quite close, more close than what the judges had it, I still felt Kell Brook won the fight, and he actually did surprise a lot of people in that fight, including myself. I thought, you know what? I looked at the Carson Jones fight, the first one, and I looked at the Sinchenko fight, and I thought someone like Shawn Porter, being having the inside game Shawn Porter has, I thought he would be able to he would be all wrong style wise for Kell Brook, but Kell Brook, he was able to adapt his style, and he was able to deal with Shawn Porter quite effectively. And I think several times during this fight, Shawn Porter actually hurt. Kell Brook actually hurt Shawn Porter. He did it at the end of the first round, and he did it a couple of times later on. I can't remember which rounds he did it in, but I noticed once or twice, or maybe a couple of more times, that Shawn Porter was visibly affected by Kell Brook's punches, especially at the end of the first round. And Kell Brook, he actually looks the whole package. I was also questioning Kell Brook's mentality going into this fight. I thought, fighting away from home and being in front of an American audience and being away from England and Sheffield, I thought he gets stage fright, and he might not be that effective. But he actually did quite well. He didn't let Shawn Porter's he didn't let Shawn Porter's aggression get to him, and he fought his own fight. He fought the fight he was supposed to fight, and he did really well for himself. And so, what now? For Kell Brook, I mean, he's an IBF World Champion, and he has a lot of opportunities now at welterweight. I mean, there's a lot of good fights out there for him. A lot of people are talking about him fighting Amir Khan here in England. There's also Keith Thurman there. There's Timothy Bradley. There's maybe Pacquiao, maybe Floyd. There's quite a few fights out there for Kell Brook, and he's actually proven a lot of doubters wrong. A lot of people before this fight said that Kell Brook was protected, including I thought he was quite protected. He hadn't fought any good. His record, his CV wasn't particularly good. He hadn't fought any world class fighters, and now he's actually got a really good name on his record, and now he's an IBF World Champion, and so it's looking really good for him, and he actually has a lot of good skills on him. He has power. I mean, he has very good he has decent footwork. His skills, he has very solid skills, very good fundamentals. He throws, you know what it is? He is a solid fighter, and I think his power is pretty damn good as well. And he could give a lot of people a lot of problems. But the problem is, yeah, I don't want to jump on the Kell Brook bandwagon, because I'm not gonna back up from what I said before. Before this fight, I said Kell Brook is going to be like another British fighter. As soon as he steps up, like a lot of recently a lot of British fighters who have fought at world class have been found out, like Ricky Burns, Brian Rose, a couple of other guys, David Price, for example. A lot of these guys have been found out at world stage, and I thought Kell Brook was going to be one of those guys. And so, he kind of proved me wrong. But at the same time, yeah, I have noticed a lot of things, like even in this Shawn Porter fight, he does do wrong. And he did tie up Shawn Porter. He did tie Shawn Porter up when Shawn Porter was trying to get on the inside, and he did use Shawn Porter's strength against Shawn Porter. But I think if someone was able to, who has more of an effective way of getting on the inside on Kell Brook, I think he has a way better chance at beating Kell Brook. I think you know what? Yeah, I know this is gonna a lot of people may not like to hear this, but I think Brandon Rios and Matisse, style wise, could give Kell Brook a lot of problems. I mean, it's the 50-50 matchups, but I think those two could give Kell Brook a lot of problems because their pressure is more effective and they can cut off the ring better. Shawn Porter, all he was doing was rushing in, and his attacks were very, very unorganized. And I'm not taking anything away from Kell Brook. He's obviously proven himself as a top dog one of the top dogs in the welterweight division. But there's still a lot of things I'm not that impressed with, and I'm not going to jump on the Kell Brook bandwagon yet. But as for the future fights, as I said before, as a lot of people have said before, there's Amir Khan. So in that fight, I think it's going to sell big in the UK, and if I'm honest, it's going to be an interesting fight because you have Khan's speed against Kell Brook, and Kell Brook, he hasn't. The problem about this is, I've got a lot. I have to admit, I've got a lot of predictions wrong, yeah, and right now I'd stay on the sideline, and all I can say is it's a 50-50 fight. You have Khan's speed and you have Kell Brook's, you have Kell Brook's overall skill, and the thing is, Kell Brook hasn't faced anyone like Khan before. Whilst Khan has faced punchers, he's faced Maidana, he's faced Danny Garcia, even though he lost to him. He's faced a lot of different styles. Whilst that's the thing. That's a big thing about this fight. But at the same time, Khan, his chin is always he has a very questionable chin. So Kell Brook could his shots could end up knocking out Amir Khan. But at the same time, Khan, with his new style, he might be able to frustrate Brook and win a decision. I wouldn't know how that fight would go. But if I doubt Kell Brook and Khan fight at the end of this year. I think most likely it's going to happen next year. And I think Khan, I think he's more interested in fighting Floyd Mayweather. And from what I hear, he's going to be, from what I've read actually, he's going to be fighting Guerrero at the end of this year, Robert Guerrero. And so after that fight, I suppose it's going to be Floyd Mayweather in May. They're going to try and get Floyd Mayweather in May, or if not Floyd Mayweather, maybe Manny Pacquiao. But I think what it is, I think the thing is, from Khan's perspective, he could fight Guerrero. He could beat Guerrero, and then he could go on and fight Mayweather or Pacquiao in the States. And you know, even if he loses against either of those, either Mayweather or Pacquiao, he can still fight Brook, and he would still sell out in the UK. So you know, I don't think Khan's team are gonna jump on, you know, the Kell Brook fight immediately. Because if they fight Kell Brook and if they lose to Kell Brook right now, then all the chances of getting Mayweather or Pacquiao are dead, and so it's going to be hard for him to come back. Whilst if they fight Kell Brook after fighting Mayweather or Pacquiao, it would sell anyway. If you see what I mean. So yeah, that would be a good fight. And as I said, it's a 50-50 fight, and you know, I know a lot of people are backing Kell Brook to win that fight, but you know, I can see an argument for either fighter winning that fight. Other than Khan, you've got also Keith Thurman as well, and you know, Kell Brook called him out. So you know, Keith Thurman, Kell Brook, you know, that's a really good fight there. You know, will Keith Thurman go all the way to Sheffield to fight Kell Brook? You know, that's a big job for him. So I'm not really sure how that fight goes either. You know, the thing is, I've really underestimated Kell Brook, and I think it's wrong to write him off. But you know, if that fight does come through, I'll give my thoughts. I'll do a video on that and give my thoughts about that fight. But I'm here to, well, I'm doing this video to say I was wrong about my prediction, and yeah, congratulations, Kell Brook, for winning the IBF welterweight championship. You've done England and you've done Sheffield proud, so you know, well done. And boxing in England is looking pretty good now. You know, we have like some decent champions now, and you know, if this Khan Brook fight gets made, it's going to be a huge fight. A lot of people are saying it might be bigger than Frosh Groves, and there were 80,000 people in Wembley for that fight. So just imagine how many people are going to be there for Khan Brook. So yeah, so I'll leave it at that, and just tell me what you think about Kell Brook and Kell Brook's future. So rate and comment, and if you think this video is shit, just give me a thumbs down. If you think it's good, give me a thumbs up.